Hey, what's up, viewers? I'm here with the man who needs no introduction, the man, the myth, the legend, Uncle Da himself, Da Hongfei. He is one of the founders of the NEO platform. And so for our viewers out there, the ones that don't know what NEO is, could you just give a brief breakdown of what NEO is?
Wow, NEO is a great product. It's a great network. It's a blockchain for the future. It's a blockchain for the future smart economy. Yeah.
So NEO, currently right now to issue a smart contract on NEO, it costs about 500 gas.
Yes.
Is there anything going to happen regarding the fees of that? Are they going to go down to allow people who don't have the money to do that to build on top of NEO?
Yeah, 500 gas is quite expensive, but the economic model with NEO is different from other blockchains. We are more like the internet. So the business is paying for all the fees, and the consumers are basically using it for free. Currently, it's $2,500 or $25,000 to deploy a smart contract. But in the future, the new holders have the voting power to decide what price should be charged. Yeah.
For those smart contracts.
Yes, it's flexible, it's changeable.
So that voting functionality, when will that be implemented? Is there a deciding date on that?
We don't have a fixed date to when we can be able to do that. I imagine maybe in 6 months or to 1 year we can do that.
All right. So let's talk about NEO's DBFT. The consensus behind NEO. It took you and Eric, I read, almost 2 years to develop. Could you expand on how that happened?
Yeah, it took us about 10 months.
10 months?
To conceptualize all the NEO, all the architecture, from 2014 to 2015. We decided to choose DBFT because it's fast. The latency is very low. Currently, you need 15 seconds to 20 seconds to have one confirmation. It's much faster than other consensus mechanism. And second, it has perfect finality. That means you only need to wait for one confirmation to perfectly confirm that the transaction is already gone through. So you don't need to wait for 6 confirmations or 21 confirmations. And also it's a delegated Byzantine fault tolerant consensus. That means you have to vote for someone, then you have to know them. So the consensus nodes, they are identifiable. So it is more compliant ready, and it's more suitable for financial and mission critical transactions.
Like enterprise solutions.
Yes.
Businesses can't have something that's going to take 6 confirmations, take hours. They need a confirmation then and there.
Yes, and it is not possible to have a network split
with
DBFT. Because there are many meanings of fork. The protocol can fork, and you can fork a project on GitHub. So I use network split.
Network split.
Yeah.
So let's talk about how you first got into cryptocurrency, because I'm always interested finding out some of these founders, how they first got into crypto. So explain to our viewers how you first got into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency.
I came across Bitcoin in 2011, and I can't remember exactly where I read the article. It must be some technical blog. And then I spent a lot of time researching on it because I was very interested in computer science, interested in economics, and I even borrowed cryptography books when I was in college. And I'm having a Bachelor of Arts degree. I'm not an engineering student, but I taught myself assembly language and C. The only purpose is to crack the computer in my university's lab, so I can use it as my personal computer.
Nice. Hey,
it's not right, but
you got to do it.
It helped me to learn the lower level architecture of computers.
So that's pretty cool. You learning as a need. You basically learned computer science. And that brought you into cryptocurrency.
Into crypto, and then in 2013. A project came out. It's called Ripple, and it's using a slightly different technology than Bitcoin. and doing slightly different things. Bitcoin is about money, is about how to create money and how to distribute money. But Ripple is about exchange, it's about payment. So I'm seeing the technology behind those two projects, but they are doing different directions. So I decided with my teams to do something else.
Oh, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some of the components of the NEO smart economy, like the NEO virtual machine. Could you explain how Interop services will work within the NEO virtual machine and how it will plug into other blockchains?
Because NEO virtual machine is very different from other VMs, like Ethereum VMs. There's only two components with NEO VM. It's a stack-based virtual machine. There is one CPU. There is one stack. There's no persistent memory or hard disk with NEO virtual machine. So you need to, if you want to store something, you need to request for a persistent storage. And if you want to get other informations like system time, you need to request for system time.
Yeah.
And you can even use the Interop APIs to visit a website. You can even, in the future, you can even ask for a price of certain stocks, or maybe ask for the weather of today or yesterday, or something happened in the history. So Interop service can provide all those kind of services.
Wow, that's amazing. So now let's talk about NEO ID. So I've heard that NEO ID, you're able to prioritize smart contracts.
Yeah.
Will NEO ID be its own project, or will you be working with similar ID projects such as the key?
It will be a feature or a module with NEO. It won't be an independent project. Currently, we don't. There is zero transaction fee in NEO. So if in the future we have to prioritize things, if some transactions is from a address that are linked to a NEO ID, a real person or real organization, they will be processed in at first.
Wow,
yeah.
That's amazing because, I mean, that's going to help enterprise solutions such as businesses come to the NEO blockchain.
I believe so.
Oh, I believe so too.
Yeah.
So let's talk about NEO's future. What do you see as the most exciting thing for the next 6 months, year?
Next 6 months, year.
3 years even.
For a year, yeah. I think we're still in the early days of blockchain technology, so it is still very technology intensive, and we are lack of a lot of fundamental or infrastructural protocols. So I'm looking forward for decentralized exchanges. I'm looking forward to distributed storage and stable coins, and those fundamental protocols is what we are looking for. In the next 1 year or 3 years.
So I'm sure you're pretty excited about Next then.
Sure.
Next seems like a very great project, decentralized exchange. So let's talk about consensus nodes. How are those going to roll out in the future?
Currently there are 7 consensus nodes in the mainnet. Currently it's all controlled by the NEO console, but we are in the process of decentralizing all the nodes to related parties, and there are already some organizations, they're willing to running consensus nodes, but ultimately they have to be voted in. So all the NEO holders, you should vote for those organizations. Do you trust them to run a consensus nodes? And we have to be very careful with decentralization of all the consensus nodes, because the protocol of NEO is evolving very fast. We need to those consensus nodes act very quickly to upgrade. And if there is a bug, there is a security issue, we need them to respond very quickly. So we're doing the decentralization process slowly, gradually, and very carefully. I imagine in next maybe 2 years, all the consensus nodes will be fully decentralized.
Fully decentralized. Yeah. So that leads me into my next question regarding, during your presentation yesterday, you said that you hope NEO will be the #1 blockchain by 2020. And guess what? That's happening, guys. So regarding that, you said that by 2020, you'll be able to handle 100,000 transactions per second.
Yeah. Without sharding.
Without sharding.
Without sharding.
That's on chain, correct?
Yes.
That's amazing. Yeah. So will the distribution of the consensus nodes help with that?
It doesn't really help that. Actually, if you decentralize everything, things will get a little bit slower.
Really?
If you centralize things get faster. Yeah. So we have been calculating, we have been testing the possibilities. What is the limit of transaction per second for a single shard?
Right.
Yeah. And we concluded that we can reach that number in 2 or 3 years.
In 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, how many consensus nodes do you think will be out there in about 2 to 3 years?
I think between 10 to 20.
10 to 20?
Yeah, 10 to 20, yeah.
Do you think the NEO holders will be voting on those during that time?
Yeah, we're thinking about changing some mechanism to encourage, to incentivize those NEO holders to vote. So they're the holders, they're the stakeholders. They should do something for the good of the blockchain.
Good of the project, exactly.
Yeah.
So let's talk about some regulations and everything. So NEO has done an excellent job of getting their Western marketing very well. I mean, the West loves NEO.
Yeah.
I've heard some rumors regarding China possibly releasing regulations for ICOs. Do you know anything about that?
No, I've never heard of it.
You haven't heard of that?
I never heard of it, yeah.
Well, I'm hoping that they do release some regulations because, I mean, that will only help.
I hope so, but I have no information about this. And I don't believe we will see a lift of the ICO ban in near future.
In the near future?
Yeah.
All right. Well, NEO has actually, when I first invested, I got in Ant shares at $1.42.
It's very early days.
Yeah, early days. And it shot all the way up. I think we're sitting at about $140 right now.
Yeah, around
so
that.
That's amazing. Talk to me about that. Like, the price increase. How has that felt?
My team always tells me, do not talk about price.
Yeah, of course. Don't talk about price.
Yeah, so I say it's a very exciting experience.
Yeah, let's take away from price. Let's talk about popularity. Like the popularity of NEO. How exciting is that for everyone?
My co-founder, Eric John, he is very confident with NEO, and he always thinks that NEO should be one of the top projects at very beginning of when we started. So it's not a surprise our ranking at all the public blockchains. Yeah, but what surprised me is the craziness in this industry in the last year.
I mean, literally a couple months in this industry can feel like a year. It moves really fast. Very fast. So let's talk about some just crypto economics regarding NEO. NEO and gas are very closely related.
Yes.
Do you see gas out pricing NEO in the future, or what is your thoughts on that?
Oh, I don't really know. It's demand.
Supply and demand.
Yes, supply and demand. Yeah. Currently, it's like half of the price of NEO.
That's usually what it sits at. Gas does.
I think as long as the price of gas is stable, I'm happy. Gas is ought to be the utility token. A utility token, they better be stable. Yeah.
Yes.
Otherwise, we need some other stable coin solutions to have a stable currency inside the system.
No, gas is it's probably one of the most brilliant concepts I've ever came across in the blockchain. Is by holding NEO, you produce gas, which is the utility. And gas is divisible up to the millionth, correct?
Yes, it's has the same amount as NEO ultimately, but I have to correct you that you are not earning gas. It's actually the gas is is sticked with NEO. So one NEO is sticked with one gas.
One gas.
And then the gas gets released gradually in about 22 years.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
So technically, if you're owning a one NEO, you own one NEO and plus a little less than one gas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, thanks for that correction, Doc.
Yeah.
Well, I thank you so much for putting this event on. NEO DevCon has probably been one of the best crypto events I've been to, and I've been to a few. So, Doc, definitely cheers,
Thanks.
man. And I can't wait for the future of NEO.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Cheers. We're going to head over to Q-Link right now.